Welcome to Unbounded Potential's Go Beyond series with your hosts, Karen King and Salma from Radis. Our mission is to help you tap into your innate potential by providing you with cutting-edge speakers and leading-edge information.
You will receive the insights, tools, strategies, and mindset that you need to empower yourself so that you can empower others as together we empower the world.
Well, welcome everyone. We're so happy that you've joined us here today because we have an amazing guest for you. I'm Karen, and along with my good friend Salma, we're your producers and hosts for the up-close and personal Go Beyond interviews. It's because of you, our audience members, that we set the highest standard on quality, diversity of speakers, as well as content, and tonight is absolutely no exception. We've got something brand new and very different for you with today's fascinating guest. So are you ready to play with a new system that encompasses science and intention and, judging from all the testimonials, has truly transformed people's lives? Tonight's guest is Peter Schenk, a modern-day mystic using cutting-edge technology. Just as a reminder, everybody go get your glass of water. Make sure you've got it close to you. Peter's going to do a live activation with the water later in the interview in a powerful, rewarding way for your highest and greatest good. So, Salma, what else can you tell us about our special guest?
Now, it's interesting when we were talking about the words modern mystic, and I just love this analogy with our guest. Now, according to the dictionary, the word modern comes from the Latin modo, meaning just now, and from modus, meaning measure. So modern is defined as that which relates to the present and may involve recent techniques, methods, and ideas. So a definition for a modern-day mystic could be someone who practices mysticism in the present day and may utilize recent inventions, techniques, methods, or ideas. I think that describes Peter Schenk. He is a very contemporary energy healer. He's a research engineer. He's an innovator and software designer whose programs and services has united people from around the world to free themselves from so many things, including pain and negativity and self-limiting beliefs and bring true manifestation into their lives. Now, Peter is already working on creating the next generation of technologies and tools for individual and global transformation. Now, tonight's interview is guaranteed to make you think of the power of intention in a whole new way. And we are going to ask him the question, can we change your inner reality using water and divine intelligence? Because inquiring minds want to know more, right? So welcome to the Go Beyond interview series, Peter Schenk.
Thank you very much for having me on the show.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Like I said, we're so excited. Oh, my God.
Mm-hmm.
So, Peter, you've been working for one of the world's largest banks for most of your 15-year career after learning the basics of your trade at Boston's Wentworth Institute of Technology, where you earned a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering. So the majority of your life was invested almost entirely into this intellectual aspect of life. But you say that in the summer of 2004, you followed the strains of a new song forming from somewhere deep inside of you. Take us back to that point in your life and describe what was happening to you and how you became coined as the modern-day mystic.
So, I was born and raised Catholic my entire life. And, you go to church on Sundays, you ask yourself, at least I did, what am I doing here? What's the purpose? There has to be something greater than this. And I've always kind of had an interest in UFOs and in kind of non-mainstream things. And I was researching on the internet one day, and you have to understand, I didn't know the world existed the way I understand it today back then. I was a 9-to-5 guy, family, kids, white picket fence, mortgage, blah, 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 blah. Very boxed in, squared thinking, based on my conditioning and schooling. And, one day I was on the internet doing some research. I don't quite remember what it was for, but I came across a book by the name of Lawrence Gardner, And he's a brilliant researcher and author that lives in England, and he had just written a book called The Secrets of the Sacred Art. And I was interested, so I ordered the book. And I got the book, and I started reading through it, and in many references throughout the book, there were references to a material called the white powder of gold. And long story short, I did a Google search. What is this material? I mean, it has transformational properties. It expands people's minds. And I came across a website called 0 Point Technologies. And I became great friends with the owner. And I decided to try one of his products one day. And it was a liquid form. I believe the product was called Zenergy. The company has moved on since then. But I ordered this product. And it came to the house, and I followed the instructions, and I was being endowed with great mental clarity, and I was like, this is amazing. And I eventually worked my way up through a couple of products to his flagship product, which was white powder gold. It's made from pure gold through an alchemical process that transforms the properties. You can research it has super levitation properties. Really opens up the chakras and opens up your mind. And I ingested this material for about 2 weeks, and nothing was happening. And it was August 8th at 2:39 p.m. in the afternoon that I'd like to say I came online. I was playing around on my computer, and in a second, the world just changed. And the only way to describe it was, if you could see the world in black and white your entire life, the next second you're seeing it in 1080p, full high-def color. Okay? Everything changed. And I started seeing things that weren't there. And this progressed over a 6-week period. And, I was still being a dad, going to work, doing my job, but I was seeing things that weren't there. And the only thing I knew at that time was, had I gone insane, I was better off being crazy than whence I came. And after about 2 or 3 months of this going on, I very quickly learned that I was being endowed with certain abilities. I mean, I didn't quite understand them back then, but with a little bit of practice, I could find that I could move energy. And it was really, really interesting. So at the time, I came across a gentleman by the name of Dr. Emoto. He was a Japanese researcher that during the 90s proved that water had a consciousness. And what does that mean? What he would do is he would take a control sample of water, let's say a gallon, and he would divvy it up over, 8 or 9 glasses. And for each glass, he would play a different frequency. So maybe one glass he'd have opera music playing to it or a choir. The next glass he would have negativity, someone swearing at him, so forth down the line. And then what they would do is they would freeze the water and they'd slice it very thin and look at it under a microscope. And the water that had higher forms of vibration put into it, the crystalline structure was absolutely perfect and symmetrical. And the ones that had the lower vibration were all broken up in infinity. So anyways, I progressed through a lot of his YouTube videos, and the one that blew my mind and gave me the idea for the creation of everything else that followed was, he took a glass of water and he wrote the word love on a piece of tape, and he taped it to the glass. And then he played some type of opera music or high energy music to the glass. And when he pulled the tape away, the water had realigned its internal structure to spell the word love on the inside of the glass. And I was like, oh my God. So this is about 6 months after my wake up experience, and I was working with a very good friend of mine, Jason Davis from Zero Point Technologies, and he was utilizing me as a focal point to extract information from the great quantum database that had been lost for millennia to help progress his alchemical preparations. And we decided that, maybe we could do something with this, with the power of attention. So with that thought, I got to work. And about 2 years later, in May of 2006, I created what I called First Water. It was a very rudimentary program. It had 10 selectable intents, and I put it out on the internet. And the basic instructions were: you can have a glass of water next to you. You select the intent you want. You put your attention on the water. You let the software do its thing, and it'll change the structure of your water and put the intent in there. And it went viral. It went absolutely crazy. We had 40, 50,000 downloads.
Wow.
In the course of 2 months, and then I shut it all down. I just shut it down because you hear about people releasing the genie out of the bottle. Well, I did, and people had taken this little crappy program that I wrote with this amazing engine behind the scenes, and were doing things that were incredible. And I was just like, wow, and I got really scared. So I took it down, and I decided to redefine the technology, refine it much further than that program. So July 4th, 2007, the first commercial product was released, Aquaware 1.1. And it had, at the time, about 180 selectable intents across 4 or 5 categories. And the premise behind it was the person would charge a glass of water with the intent. They'd ingest the water and bringing about changes within the body from the water. Now, right after Aquaware 1.0 was released, we were seeing 50% results. And I was like, oh, that's not good enough. There has to be something that we're doing wrong. So again, I went down the rabbit hole, which is I call it the rabbit hole, the great quantum database. And I came back with the idea of water prep. So in my belief system, water contains the memories of everywhere it's been. And, the water's 4 billion years old. But when you hit it with an intent, it's being almost diverted because of the memories that the water holds to return the water to a pristine state. So I added a function to the software called water prep, and you would use that before your intention. And basically, it blank slates the water. It removes the memories from the water. Okay? So after version 1.1 was released with that feature, we incremented our success rate to about 65, 70%. I was like, that's not good enough. I want a 90 percentile. And what I was doing was, the whole time I was focusing so much on the water with the software, I forgot about the human potential in it. And then the idea hit me where we need user prep. Okay? And what user prep does is it preps the subconscious mind for acceptance of what's being drawn into the body through the attention in the water. And at that point, we had hit a good 90, 92% rate with the software. So now we're moving into, the fall of 2007, and I'm on Aquaware version 1.8. I'm slaving night and day. Every time I come out with a new version, somebody else wants another intent, and I'm like, oh my God. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, now we're at 240 intents or something like that in the software. And I took a step back and I said, well, people are asking me for everything. How about if I gave them the power to create their own intents, to type in their own intents? So at that point, I started development on what we call Alex, A-L-I-I-X. And Alex was a program radically different from Aquaware that allowed users to type in their own intent. What we quickly learned from after the release of Alex was people don't know what they want. They don't know what they want to type in. So we were caught with this conundrum where Aquaware was so powerful, but it really had chains on it because it didn't give people the power to put into the software to get back out what they wanted. So we created Alex to give them the power to do it, and then they don't know what they want. So just on a tangent, when I do energy sessions with people, the first question I ask them is, what do you want? Of course, they don't know, and that's where the magic gets. So moving on past there, there were a lot of iterations of different software, which led to my current product line, which has 3 products. I'll talk about detail and explain what each one does. You guys have any questions so far?
We're having a little bit of audio problems, Peter. Do you have a headset? Are you on a cell phone?
I am on a headset, yeah.
Are you? Maybe,
yep.
I don't know if you just want to maybe move the headset a little bit. It's just, it kind of comes in and out. Just for everybody's listening, we want to make sure they catch all of your words and your ideas.
How's that?
That's good. That's
okay.
great.
That sounds better.
Yeah, perfect.
So, which leads us to today. So today on all of the products, we're in a 4th generation of the technology. The programs are all very stable. They run on Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 8.1. They will run on Windows XP, but I won't support them on that, just FYI, or Windows Vista. But Windows 7, 8, and 8.1 are fine. So,
well, actually, I'm running Vista, Peter, and it worked just fine on mine.
Oh, okay, great.
There you go.
All right, well, that's good news.
It is good news. Salma, did you have some questions?
Well, I was just saying that, like it's almost like been a work in motion. You're really trying to give it your best, because you were saying like your success rates, right? Like 30% and then 50% and then 60 and 70, and now you're going into the 90s or something like that, because you're really dedicated. You really your whole ideology, I think, Peter, is that you really do want to help people and you want to bring the best product to them, right?
Look, I've been in technology my whole life, and strictly speaking from an analytical conditioned mind, as a consumer of different software products, I know it's frustrating. I know what works and what doesn't. And through that experience as a, quote, user, that allows me to deliver products that I've created that bypass all of that jargon and are very, very simple to install and use.
And I just realized I made a big mistake. I didn't do the user prep before I did what I did. Is that going to make a difference?
Instructions?
I did, but I was in such a hurry. I was so excited about, let's just prep the water and then do this.
Well,
I'm kind of like a kid in the candy store.
Okay.
Well, there's so many choices that you had to make. Yeah. So the water prep, and then you do the user prep, right? And then the intention.
Yep. So that kind of leads me into the next stage of the interview. The 3 current products out there. There is Aquaware 3.1, which is my flagship product. There is the Source 3 and the 12th project. Now, I'm going to talk at length, ad nauseum, about each one of them, and at any point you want to stop me and ask questions, that's fine. And then I'm going to tell you about some of the results and the crazy stuff and the beautiful stuff that happens when people use each one of the products. So I want to start with Aquaware. So Aquaware, I didn't update it past October of 2007, and it basically stayed in its current form for almost 6.5, 7 years. Okay. Last year, I decided to go back. Well, actually, let me rewind. So between Aquaware and where we are today, I wanted to take the technology in a new direction. And about 4 years ago, I started development on what I call the 12th project. And the original software had 12 modules based on the gods of Olympus, okay? So when you fire up the software, it comes up with a beautiful menu, and there's 12 choices from Zeus all the way to Hera, Athena, Apollo, yada, yada. And each one was specifically designed to open up a virtual chakra outside the body that contains information that is for you, brought on by you in the current state. Now, it's a little bit outside of my comfort zone when I was creating this, but what people were experiencing were they were receiving gifts. They were opening up parts of themselves that they have never felt before. And the idea was to use each one of the modules over a 3-day period, and at the end of the month or whatever it was, you would be a different person. And the original 12 project sold very well. Last year, I decided to update it with 7 more modules, and these were the physical chakras in the body, from the crown all the way down to the sacrum, the base. And I released that guy in last year, I think September, and people have been blown away by the results of the new modules and the invigoration in the old ones, and they're, actively cleaning their chakras. Now, chakras are physical energy portals in and out of the body, okay? And they're very much like a car. You don't change the oil in them once in a while, they get clogged. And, when I talk about my energy sessions in a little bit, a lot of people ask me, well, how are my chakras? And I really explain to them, well, they're clogged up. They need to be cleaned. And the software is a very, very good way of physically cleaning the 7 chakras. And once they're clean, your whole body comes alive. You feel alive because the energy is moving in and out. And it's really, really beautiful. So that is kind of encompasses the 12th project in its current form. Next, I wanted to simplify the technology. Aquaware has a bazillion functions in it. The 12th project was really conducive and focused on the chakra base, but I wanted to create something that did more than just bring about changes in the body. I wanted to change people's reality. So I wanted to change the reality around the physical entity. And then I came on with the idea of the source. So I redesigned the engine from the ground up. Again, it's based on water. But the source is a one-click, fire and forget type of program. So what is the source? It's in its 3rd iteration, the Source 3. The latest iteration now sports the 9 symbols of creation, okay? So, and again, when I speak in these terms, I'm talking about my own personal belief system. You don't have to subscribe to them, just understand them in terms of the software. So in my reality, I believe that there are 9 symbols in creation that manifest anything we want. So I went into the Great Quantum database, and I extracted these 9 symbols of creation. I had a graphics artist put them in the vector format for me, which allowed me to import them into the software, and I put them in a timing sequence. So user prep, water prep, pre-nucleate, and nucleate are all done for you in a 60-second format. So when I teach conscious manifestation and unconscious manifestation to people, it's really, really important you understand the difference. I'm going to spend a minute talking about these. Unconscious manifestation, deja vu, synchronicity, we do it all the time. You're driving down the road and you're la-di-da-da-da, you're lollygagging, you're thinking a red Ferrari. 30 seconds later, a red Ferrari comes right by you. Unconscious manifestation, synchronicity, happens to us all the time. Conscious manifestation is very, very simple to understand in practicality, but in application, it's very difficult for us to do. It takes practice. So what is conscious manifestation? That is thinking about something that you absolutely want to manifest and changing your trajectory to bring it about. Okay? So again, in my belief system, I believe there are things called light paths. Okay? So if everyone kind of holds their finger up in front of them for a second and the tip of your finger is what I call the now, okay? The now is everything. Everything rages around the now. There is no past, there is no future, there's only the now. The past is raging around us all the time. The future is raging around us all the time, but you are the now. Now, if you can imagine a data stream coming through your finger, that is your reality, your book of life. And it's determined based on that point. So if you want to manifest something in your life, well, how do you do that? I believe that the universe is kind of like a thinking sponge. It has the aptitude and the consciousness of a 3-year-old. It only wants to give you what you want all the time. And it only understands the highest order of love and the highest order of vibration. The further out from something, and I call it source, the further out you are from it, the lower it vibrates, okay? So the universe wants to give you what you want. So what do? We think about something. And when I teach this course, I teach people to start off something small, like a blue button or a matchstick or a pin or a dollar bill or whatever, a sequence of numbers. And you put that into your head, and you get it absolutely perfect and so real. And then you offer it up to the universe. And at the speed of thought, the universe grabs it, boom, and starts changing that data stream in front of you by creating light paths. And the light paths are very common things to get you to where you want. And I call that part the path. And this is where most people fail. Most people fail when they have worry or doubt along the path, okay? Because the universe doesn't understand low vibration stuff. Worry and doubt, and that's low vibration. As soon as that happens, the thought form is destroyed and you have to start over again, okay? So, and the light paths are created, the object, the desire is brought forth and manifested in your life. So I have put these principles into the engine of the Source 3. And using the 9 symbols of creation, in the Source, manifestation has never been easier because I've taken all the work out of it. I made it simple for you. There is no path. The software creates the path for you. So if you worry or doubt, it doesn't matter. It's still coming. And here's the cool thing. What manifests in your life is so far beyond what your imagination can conjure. It's beautiful. So, I mean, you can read testimonies on the website of what people manifest in their life, but it's absolutely off the chart. And the Source 3 has been out for about 4 months now, and the reports are just, what did I do? What did I create? And people are having a ball with it. So then that leads us into...
Is that done with water as well, the Source?
Yes, that is done with water as well.
Okay. Can I just read a couple testimonials here, if I may?
Sure.
About the Source. Then Peter introduced me to the Source. I've learned to let go by clearing the black slate. I've been able to heal not only my mind, but my body. I can't stop smiling, and each day seems to flow like a peaceful river. Even now I hear the words that I'm writing, and I can't believe that I'm feeling, experiencing, and expressing these wonderful characteristics of myself and my life. There's another one here. Peter brought me back from the depths of darkness by showing me the source of light within. I've traveled, walked the streets of New York City, taking care of my mother, and most of all, redefined my personal relationships by staying in my space and allowing those around me to be affected by my positive energy instead of them affecting me by their negative energy. It's as though I am becoming a healer myself. Wow, very, very good testimonials here. And again, anybody can use this. Easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Salma, are you still with us? You're not doing so well? How to sip up water?
We're going to get to that, don't worry.
I've got a big 5-gallon jug right beside me here, Peter. I'm waiting.
I'm just being funny. Sorry. So after, just moving on a little bit, after the Source 3 was created, I really, really wanted to bring Aquaware back with a bang. And so I dove into the code that was 6 or 7 years old, just gutted it, rewrote it from the ground up. And so Aquaware today has just over 500 selectable intents, and it has 2 modes in it, a manual and a automatic. The automatic mode is what 95% of the people use. They set the power level, they select the intent, they put their mind on the water, and the intent is injected into the water. I can't say enough things about Aquaware. It's just it's an absolutely beautiful program. Now, what's coming? Karen had mentioned next generation technology I'm working on. Aquaware 4.0 will be released before the end of the year. I've already started working on it, and I'll just give you a couple of the snippets without letting the whole cat out of the bag. But the new software will allow users to type in their own intents again. There is another feature that I'm going to be putting into it. So let's say you're going on a road trip for a week and you don't have a laptop, can't bring your software. Aquaware 4.0 will have the ability to allow you to put the intent into something like a business card. You'll be able to print it on an Avery card, and it'll be a very specific geometric symbol, and you would, instead of putting it into the water, you put it into the card. You take that card with you in your wallet, you put it on the bar, you put your glass of water on top of it, you move your attention from the card into the water, and it's done. That's it. Very, very simple. Now, a lot of the questions that people ask me is, well, do I have to, how come I don't hear any sound coming out of the computer? Do I have to how far is the glass of water have to be from the computer? So I'm going to take a minute, kind of explain my belief system and how quantum dynamics works, okay? I believe everything is made up of energy, and this energy is all interconnected, okay? All going back to what I call the source, God, Buddha, Jesus, whatever you will. We're all part of the same material from the same source. And if you kind of interlace your fingers together, that is the quantum realm. That is what permutates and keeps us all combined. Now, science is just starting to understand this through quantum mechanics. If you're intuitive, you just know what the quantum realm is. The quantum realm is a place where everything exists in what I call simultaneity, okay? There is no past, there is no future. Space, time, and distance don't exist. There's only the now. So the principles of how the software engine works is really based on quantum dynamics, okay? Your mind, your conscious mind, is the most powerful thing in existence. And wherever you point your consciousness to, reality happens. So you hit the go button on the software, you put your attention on the water, and the magic happens at that point. So people ask me, well, how far does the glass have to be away from the computer? I tell them, it doesn't matter if it's a cup of coffee, if it's a glass of water next to your computer, the bathtub down the hall, a jug of water at your buddy's house in California, or a cup of coffee on Mars. The target water absolutely does not matter. It's because the principles by which the software works, distance doesn't exist. So wherever you put your attention is where it's going to go. So, you know, in some of the earlier years in the experimentation we were doing, I mean, people were just having a gasp. There was a kid in college who had charged the kegs of beer with what we called social lubricant. And it turns an introvert into an extrovert. I mean, it's off the chart. There was a woman that lives on the coast of Oregon, and in her harbor, she charged the whole harbor with superoxygenation, bringing the oxygen content in the water up to a higher level. There were more fishing boats within 12 hours in that harbor than there had been in her entire lifetime. all the fish were coming into the water. It was amazing.
So could, like, even waterways that are polluted, with this software and the intention, you could actually clean up those waterways?
So we, a few years back when the BP oil spill happened, there was a group of us that had gotten together to use, I don't remember if it was Alex for the source or whatever, to help clean up the oil spill. And I'm not taking claim to any of this. I'm just telling you what we did. The oil started disappearing. And you can read about it. The scientists didn't know where it was going. And we had put the intention of cleaning up the water.
Where do you suppose the oil went?
I'm sorry?
Where do you think the oil went?
I really don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But if it helps, that's all that matters.
For sure.
You know, I have a huge need to help people, and this was all spawned from my wake up experience. Honestly, prior to my wake up experience, I didn't give a shit. I didn't. I was very self-absorbed. Me, I. You know, it was about my kids, my wife at the time, and everyone else I didn't have time for. And after my wake-up experience, you know, the need to build products, create things that would help people became exponential. And, you know, the software is an extension of what I am.
Astounding. You know, but Peter, always, regardless of what the intention is, it won't work unless it's for your highest and greatest good. Is that correct?
Yes. The software has fail-safes in there, which I put in, where it absolutely will not work unless it's of the light for the light. It just won't work.
That's what I mean.
But, you know, the technology is not limited to humans. I mean, people have used it on their animals. And there's multiple examples. I believe it could be in the testimonies of people healing their cats, their dogs, a horse. I provide the tools. And people have just taken them so far beyond what I designed them to do. It's like, oh my God, that is crazy. So here's an example. There was this really cool guy down in Virginia, and he had field mice in his garage, and he had used every commercial product out there to get rid of these mice, and nothing worked. Well, a buddy of him had turned him on to Aquaware, and there's an intent, called pest control. And he filled up a spray bottle with water charged with pest control, sprayed it around his garage, and the mice never came back. I've been I spend a large amount of time in the American Southwest, and they have these things out there called bombers. They're like horse flies squared.
Black
and they're, you know, there's a couple of months during the summer where they're very prevalent, and when we're outside, they're annoying. So you use insect control. Fill up a spray bottle, and you just spray it, and they're gone. I mean, they're gone. People have used the technology on plants. Imagine a world without pesticides. This country alone creates 26 trillion tons of chemicals every year. 26 trillion tons of chemicals.
You can't even imagine how much that is, right?
Now, you know, you just do this at home in your own garden. Fill a spray bottle with pest control. Spray it in your garden. You will have no bugs there at all.
How about like for weeds? Do you have one for weeds?
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Honestly, off the top of my head, I don't know. But, you know, hey, Aquaware 4.0 is coming out, so if you got
there you go.
You gotta add that
you
on.
want, you know, you better.
But what's amazing, Peter, you know, Karen and I were going through some of this. You know, it just there's everything. There's financial,
Absolutely,
there's
everything.
Inner beauty, there's intelligence if you need less sleep, more sleep.
And I like the singing
health,
one. I'm going to give it to my daughter.
Romantic
you can improve your singing
relationships,
skills.
spiritual
Well,
power,
another cool one in there.
Cancers and like the list to go through here, like colds.
Well, just think of the applications in the beauty sector for women. That's a $5 billion a year industry.
Exactly.
I mean, people use these cosmetics. Acne is unbelievable how fast it clears up acne.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Blackheads,
I know women that I personally know that have used the software to get rid of blotches on their face. They're gone. Sometimes within 3 hours, they're gone.
It's just that it even like your your cleansing and rejuvenating and your colon and and just
every part of your body.
I like this one about the broken heart. that is the human potential. Mending, and starting, maybe relationships or something like that.
Yeah, I personally like the mind clarity is excellent in the morning. I mean, I'm 45, so mind clarity for me.
You are a young whippersnapper, aren't you, Peter?
Two thumbs up.
That's your morning instead of the morning coffee. You have that, right?
Okay, now here's a question I have for you, Peter. How many intentions can you use a day?
So the new software. All right. So let's talk about levels of vibration and detox, and that's a very good question. When a person comes into contact with an object, an energy, something that vibrates at a higher level, your light body is instantly brought up to that level. Okay, but your physical body is not. The physical body generally takes within 72 hours to vibrate at that higher level. As the body starts to vibrate higher, there are low vibe substances, heavy metals, all kinds of stuff that we get from the environment that come out. And when they come out, it's called detoxing. Now, on the low end of the spectrum, red eyes, maybe mild skin irritations, fatigue are very common. On the high end, flu-like symptoms that'll put you in bed for 3 or 4 days will come on within an hour. Okay? So what I always encourage people to do, especially with Aquaware, is there is a power slider on there that you could increase the effectiveness of the intent. I always tell people start off slow, under 20%. Okay, you're utilizing a very, very powerful tool. Okay, and I always imply heat caution. Use your own intuition when you use it. Okay, because if you don't, you're going to detox, and you don't want to detox. It's not pretty.
No.
When you come out of it, it's amazing, but there's no need to detox. You very slowly and gradually increment as you move through. You use your own intuition. Aquaware is all the software products. My belief system, again, is an intelligence. So it's going to work with you, not against you. But back to your point, I wouldn't mix anything that you ingest into the body. I would not do more than twice a day, and I would definitely not do more than 3 intents in the body a day. Okay? But it's really at user discretion. I mean, whatever you're comfortable with. If you're going to put it on plants outside or something like that, you can do as much as you want. But one of the cool features, here we go again, coming out with 4.0, is going to be the ability of what we call quantum layering. Okay? So you can have a glass of water with 16, 24 ounces of water, and you'll have the ability to automatically put 7 intents into that glass of water. And they will all
going to be
with
overwhelming.
no detoxing effect.
Okay, that'll be overwhelming. Wow.
Isn't that interesting? Because that was going to be another question of mine because, I've got this glass of water on my desk right now, and I've put my intent in there, and I thought, okay, well, now what if we're on the call and we put another intent into my glass? What's going to happen? What's going to happen?
Okay, so a couple things about the property of the water. you're changing the physical characteristics of the water, okay? So if you have a glass that you can see through and you pour a glass of water and you look very closely at the edges, they generally start to form a bubble, right? So it comes up and it goes inward. Now, as soon as you hit that glass of water with user prep or water prep, the bubble inverts, it goes flat, okay? You can physically taste the difference of the water just by using water prep.
I know.
It becomes silky. It becomes smooth. Some people say it smells like medicine. Some people see mist coming off it. I mean, it goes on and on. It's
Do you think this would be a good time now to do a group activation on the water?
Absolutely.
So does everybody have their water ready? I hope so.
Okay, so this will take a few minutes, but I just want to explain something.
Sure.
When we're doing this together, I'm going to ask you to say some words. And energy, whether it's in physical form or not, reacts very, very positively to high vibration, right? And it'll do anything for you as long as we acknowledge its existence. Okay, it's very, very important to acknowledge it. And we're gonna do that during the session. So, do you have any ideas what you guys want to do? I mean, just throw a couple ideas out there. You want to do like mind clarity? I'm not using the software, by the way. Another part of what I do is energy healing, and I offer, hour sessions with people to. It's a whole different animal, but that's what we're going to do. But I want to do it as a group.
Well, maybe something in abundance.
Abundance is good.
Yeah, abundance.
Okay.
Yep.
Abundance is good. Now, for abundance, what I want everybody to do is just take a minute and think about what does abundance mean to you in your life. Does it mean hitting the lottery? Does it mean bringing more joy into your life? Does it mean, just creating happiness? So you define abundance, and we'll bring it forth. I'll give everybody a minute to kind of think about that. Okay, what I'd like everyone to do is put that glass of water in front of them. I'd like everyone to take your right hand and put it over the glass about 3 inches and spread your fingers. Okay, and in a minute you're going to start to feel source energy running down through your hand into the water. Now, that can come in many forms. Some people feel it immediately. Other people are like, I don't know if I feel it. Some people say my hand's going numb. Others feel just this beam of energy pulsating right through their hand. Their hand starts to heat up a little bit. So again, we're going to give everyone a minute. Right hand over that glass of water, about 3 inches. Spread your fingers. Now, I'd like everyone to put their attention on their individual glass of water and repeat the words, I honor the space in which you exist. Again, I'd like everyone to put their attention on the glass of water and repeat the words, I honor the space in which you exist. And the energy flow through your hand is going to increase. As that energy flow is increasing, I want you to think of what abundance means in your life. What does it mean to you as an individual? Just on a side note, man, the energy is really flowing through this crowd.
My water is moving.
Yeah, it gets crazy.
I know. It's just like it's moving. I'm not touching.
Okay, now I'd like everyone to drink as much of the water as you want, but very important, I want you to notice the taste and the texture of the water. Go ahead.
It just, for me, it's so light and silky.
Hang on. Just hold that thought. We're not there yet. Almost.
Oh, we're not?
Okay, now, the importance here is the energy of the water has been programmed by you to bring abundance into your life in whatever form that takes for you. Okay, so the energy of the water is going to start moving in your body now. You'll feel it physically in your stomach, but it's going to start vibrating to an area within the body. And that area that it vibrates to is what we call the mark, M-A-R-K. And the mark is your source of abundance. So what we've just done is we've put the universe on notice that within 72 hours, that form of abundance is going to connect with the mark and is going to be brought into your life.
I love this. I just love this.
Now, this is also really important. If you're getting lightheaded or dizzy, disengage. Stop what you're doing, okay? Because you can't handle the vibration that's being delivered, and that's okay. That's okay. You've just taken it to the point where your physical body can handle it. The rest is already going to be done for you. Don't be Superman or Superwoman, okay? Don't be. This is very real, and it's very, very powerful. Again,
Wow.
feel where it's moving in your body. That is the mark. That is the connection that's going to be made with the abundance that is now on its way.
Salma, I would like to hear your opinion. Like, where are you feeling it?
In my heart.
Yeah?
There you
mine's
go.
Mine's in my throat.
No, mine's in my heart.
For those listening in, we'd love to hear from you. Tell us what that was like. How did the water taste? Where did you feel that vibrating in your body? We're curious. Because inquiring minds want to know.
Exactly. And Peter, it's just to say, when you like holding our, our spread eagle, our fingers over the water, but like my water was moving.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I've seen water turn the color of blueberries. I've seen it crawl out of a glass.
Oh.
I mean, I've seen things that you can't imagine.
Oh. That was mind-boggling when my water was moving there. I thought, oh, okay, here I got the power. Oh, it was there. And wow.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Before we go any further, I'd like to direct everybody to the audience dashboard page. We're going to find the link to Peter's special offer. It's big, it's orange, it's easy to find, so click on that special offer button. It's called Modern Day Mysticism Meets Cutting Edge Technology. And again, Peter has 3 powerful, transformative programs to move your life forward in a powerfully rewarding way for your highest and best good. On this page, you can read all about the exclusive 3 special offers that Peter has generously put together for you, our dear listening audience. This is all at a substantial saving. They're all $40 lower in price than what he normally charges on his own website. So, again, a sales price for everyone. Now, we've got the Source 3. Peter, can you give us some highlights, the benefits that people will get if they purchase this product?
So again, all three products are very, very different in what they do. They are all meant to bring, the best changes forth. I could honestly go on and on
Right.
about the positive changes. Aquaware is for a person with a very specific intent that they have in mind, and through all the categories in there, I think we nailed just about all of them that anyone could want. The source is meant to change your reality, which it does with awesome efficiency, and the 12th project is geared towards the virtual and physical chakras.
Mm-hmm.
They all bring massive benefits to the table in their own unique style and ways. The website, moderndaymystic.com, has, testimonials under each one of the programs and what it's doing for people. The new website actually has a forum on there, which I'm trying to encourage people to use to share questions, ideas, in that type of arena. But the benefits are really only limited by your imagination.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I created tools that you can be like a little kid rediscovering the world again. I mean, they're so beautiful and so perfect. And they're so powerful.
Oh, that Aquaware is very, very powerful. Again, yeah, I love that. I don't know which one here.
Like I said, we've been playing with that all afternoon.
I know.
Oh, my God, look at this. Did you see? Selma, did you see that?
Here. Let's go to this. Oh, my God, did you see this here? We're looking at, like beauty and this and we were talking about the acne one and
wrinkles. We can get rid of wrinkles.
Yeah, exactly. And beautiful and, so it's just got so much. They're all three special software programs. And what I like about the sources, which you said, Peter, it's just like really easy to use. It's just almost like you press a button.
That's all you do. You press a button, the work's all taken out. The only thing that's required of you is absolute clarity of what you want.
What you want.
Absolute clarity of what you want. And, when I was developing the first iteration of that product, I had a beta group of maybe half a dozen people, and one woman wanted to manifest a brand new $1 bill. Pretty simple. She's an avid jogger. She's out jogging on some paths that are not really traversed by anybody else, and she hits her medium and turns around and comes back. Again, she's out in the middle of nowhere. And there on the path is a brand new $1 bill in the middle of nowhere. It's just
magical.
It's the genie in the bottle. I mean,
there you go.
Describe it. It's the genie in the bottle. I'm giving you, the power to manifest things in your life that it's so easy to use and so beneficial.
I just want to read some of the folks have written in since your group activation here. Pat from Priest River, Idaho. That was awesome. I felt it in the whole body. My water moved back and forth. The taste was velvet and sweet. Thank you so much. We have Raz from Palo Alto. Good question. Do we get a free upgrade to Aquaware 4 if we buy 3 now?
Oh, see, Peter, look at that.
Yeah. But maybe at a deal? I don't know.
Yeah.
So generally, and that's a very good question, generally what I do is if you buy whatever version is out there, within the context of, say, okay, so Aquaware 3 came out, you purchased it at full price. There was an increment update, Aquaware 3.1, 3.2. Those are free.
Okay.
In the major revisions, there is a 50% discount if you decide to upgrade to it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
And then that's across all of the software products.
Okay.
And Jenny says from Seattle, my water is vibrating in my feet. Oh.
And Dale said, finally water the way I like it, no flavor. Felt healthier on my tongue. Thank you, Peter. and ladies.
Oh.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
And Rhonda said she felt the vibration in her hands.
I'll wait until you get to use the products, just like
Yeah,
for
it's
real,
amazing.
like
It's
when you
amazing.
go through all of them. Wow. It's like the taste.
Just again, and I can't stress this enough, with any of the products, just go slow. They're very exciing, and you're like, oh my God!
Exactly.
That
little kid in the candy
Salma
store.
and I,
Just
little kids,
remember, you were at the control panel of incredibly proficient intelligence, and it's scary powerful what you're operating. So just go slow.
Go slow.
Have fun.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's the key, to have some fun.
Well, and the thing is, you've got the software always. It's not going away. So you could easily just take it slow. And
what
the
great thing here, too, is, Karen, is that, and your listeners, if you have a question, you have a problem, I'm sure if you email Peter, he will talk to you about that.
Look, my phone number is on the website.
Yep. So,
I am all about customer service.
Absolutely.
I'm all about making sure you get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
I'm not shy. I carry my cell phone. I get my email on it wherever I'm at. I generally get back, within an hour, unless I'm sleeping, of course.
Yeah. So you have help there. So again, for all these programs, I just want to take just a few minutes again to read this testimonial here from Tanya about the source. She's saying, I used the source to charge some water for my 3-year-old. I've been gone on a trip and came home to her having the worst chapped lips ever. Bloody, scabby pieces of meat, seriously bad. A week of trying to heal them with lip balm, healthy foods, extra liquid has not seemed to help. She wake up every morning with her lips crusted in blood, so I charged some water yesterday with the intent to heal her chapped skin and had her drink it throughout the day. This morning, they're pink again.
Incredible.
That is a phenomenal. Yeah. And
you should see the software on freckles. That's amazing, too.
Is that right? What happened?
It gets rid of them.
Oh, yes, yeah. Oh. And then, Jim, about your Aquaware, he just can't say enough about that. The program acts as a physical interface between you and the most intelligent element on the planet, water. You see, water does not only respond to intent, it also responds to pictures as documented by Dr. Emoto. And most of us lack the focus to direct pure intent to anything without lots of training and practice. This program will allow you to direct intent and interact with the consciousness of water instantaneously. I can't even begin to explain the power of what I just said. Really, this is the real deal, kids. Thank you, Peter. So, a lot of, enthusiastic customers and very, very, very satisfied with using your products, Peter.
Yeah.
Peter, are you open to taking some audience questions?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start with Dale. Oops. Hi, Dale. Are you still there? Dale, are you there?
Yes, but I'm in such a habit of muting my own phone.
Oh.
I thought I hit the mute button to turn it off, but I'm outside in the dark, so anyway. Peter, this is very interesting. I really don't know what to ask, though. I have so much to ask, but I really don't know what to ask, so...
You have some health challenges
the
right
end.
now.
Yeah.
You have some serious health challenges going on right now. They start with the C. You know what I'm talking about.
Right.
And Peter, do you think this program could benefit Dale?
I think the program can benefit anybody. I'm not a doctor.
Right.
I don't pretend to be. I don't even market these programs. Again, they haven't been reviewed by the FDA, so I can't say they cure anything. I market it as a game, basically. But
well, I'm up for games, so I'm out of the box.
Anything you read on the internet and any type have an electronic format, yada, 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 hasn't been reviewed by the FDA. So I can't say it cures anything. I just say, they're they're very, very beneficial, and they do help people, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Dale. Selma, do you have a question?
Okay. Somebody said, is this compatible with older iPads? I need to know. What do you think, Peter?
So these are Windows PC programs, and thank you for actually bringing that up. 4 years ago, I developed a product with the technology for the iPhone. And just to be honest with you, the development cycles in my own time that would go into porting these programs to iOS, to Android, at this time they're just not feasible and they're not worth it. So this software works on a Windows PC running Windows 7, 8, or 8.1. Now, people that have Macs, that have iPhones, that have iPads, you can connect to a PC remotely from any of those devices and run the software fine. If you own a Mac, you have the option of purchasing Boot Camp or Parallels, which runs a Windows environment in it, which will run the software fine.
Okay. And again, you would be available to help people with that if they were having a technical challenge with downloading.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
And the same person came back that, does a person need all three products? How would you respond to that, Peter? What would you?
Well, as a salesperson, I would say, and buy them for everybody else.
Yeah,
but
for your
honestly,
family members too. Yeah.
If you purchase a product, you have the ability to install it up to 3 machines of your choosing. No questions asked. To start, I would go with Aquaware. Aquaware is just fun.
It is.
There's a lot of cool stuff in it. There's a lot of interaction with the user. So a lot of people come to me and say, well, I've used Automatic and I'm at 100%, and I'm not seeing the gains that I was seeing as I incremented up through the power levels. So that's why we put a manual mode in there. Manual mode allows you to put dots over the geometry, okay? And each dot is a multiplier of 1 against the percentage. So, for instance, if you're at 70% and you put, you're in the manual mode and you put 2 dots in, you're now at 140%. So you go beyond the slider at that point. And some people, put 3-4 dots on the image, thereby that's the multiplier of whatever the percentage is. So there's a lot of functionality
these are folks that
there.
have been on the program for a long time. Is that what you're telling me, that people that go beyond the slider?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Aquaware has 500 individual images that I've created, okay, and they are all radically different and radically beautiful. And the digital artwork that's in there, it's just worth the price alone.
It's pretty phenomenal.
Each image would take me, some would take 5 minutes, some would take 5 hours. I wouldn't stop until they're absolutely perfect.
And what did you base your images on, Peter?
Well, there were 3 principles that, I took into consideration. Actually, it was more mandatory to consideration. 1 was color. 2 was fractal geometry, which you see in there. And 3 was the wave effect, what I call the wave effect within the image. And as the water moves over the image, that helps create the harmonics that open up, the great quantum realm.
Fascinating. We have another caller here. Not sure where you're from, but you're on the line. If you could tell us your name and your question for Peter, please.
Is that me?
That would be you.
Oh, hi, Karen. It's Susan.
Oh, hi, Sue.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, guys. Selma, I'm sorry you're feeling sick. Sorry to hear.
Thank you. Yeah, actually, I'm feeling better now with that water I
Yeah,
just
you sound. I didn't even recognize your voice when I came on the line late, and I went, "Who is that?" And now you sound like you. That is really interesting.
Drinking that water, like I said, I had that whole like gallon there.
Must be something in the water.
There must be something there.
There you go.
Wow, your voice completely changed since we've been on this call. Hi, Peter. I'm sort of, if I sound naive, I'm not techie at all. I came on the call late, and I'm just confused. So all I have is an iPad. I am not techie. I have no computer. I live in the country, so I have this iPad. Now, when you install these, if I can even figure out how to get this installed into my iPad, how does this work? Do we visually look at images, and then it goes into our body? You guys are talking, and I'm way off. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, so first of all, the software does not work on the iPad.
Okay.
It's specifically written for a Windows PC running Windows 7, 8, or 8.1. It will work on XP or Vista. I just don't support it anymore on those operating systems. The second part of your question.
Can I store it on something and take it to the library? They have computers there. I don't know.
If they allow you to put it on there, sure. I don't care.
Okay. Well, anyway, so how does it actually work then? Imagery? Or?
So all the software works on the same dynamics, which is the great quantum database, right? And I have developed an algorithm over the years that basically acts as an interface between you and the quantum realm. So the only thing in all of the products that are required by the user is to put your attention on the target water. That's all you have.
On the what? Sorry, on the glass of water?
Yeah.
On the
water.
target water. That can be a glass of water next to your computer. It can be the bathtub down the hall. It can be your neighbor's pool across the country or a cup of coffee on Mars.
Wow.
It doesn't matter where the target water is. The only thing that is required is that you put your attention on it. That is it.
Okay, but and how do you get this to us? Are you talking to us on this program, or are we looking at visuals?
Nope. You're not doing anything. You're just
it's like a software program. It's like
Word
or something like that. You've got all little handles. You've got little, tabs on there.
With
like
intention. And whichever intention you're looking to.
Oh, I see. Okay, got it now. Okay.
Like
wow, neat.
Yeah, you've got little buttons and everything else.
And I guess that, with a lot of people that come on their show here, they sell things that we can download and listen to. I guess there's nothing that you could sell us like that for us iPad users, eh?
Well, I mean, so on my website I offer 3 different services, right? We're focusing on the software tonight, which is a download medium. I offer group sessions on the website, which I do every 3 or 4 months, and then I offer individual sessions to people, typically an hour. And in that hour of time or whatever time you purchase, what we did tonight as a group is very much what we do as an individual, but I will diagnose you, if you will, and I'll tell you within a minute anywhere in your life where you had great joy and great sadness, and we'll focus in on those particular things, and I'll remove them from you, thereby changing your life. I mean, the individual sessions are all over the roadmap. If you read some of the testimony, that's the type of stuff that science fiction books are written from. But in any of the products or services that I offer, it's all about getting you where you need to be, pushing you, enlightening you, helping you, by any and all means possible. And I don't give up on anybody. I just want to jump on one quick thing. I want to explain something to you folks that really was another pivotal change in my trajectory, if you will. I had a person, not in the body, we'll just call that a Great Ascended Master, Saint Germain, who taught me a couple things. One was to see the invisible and do the impossible. And a more important concept beyond that was how light and dark exist in the universe. So in my belief system, I don't believe in good or evil. I believe in levels of vibration. The further something vibrates outside of source, the lower it vibrates. So we all have great tragedies in our life, horrific stories. Everyone's got them. And, you know, people ask me, well, how do you advise people to pull through? So what I use is a very simple analogy, okay? Imagine yourself in a room that's completely dark. There's no light, there's no doors, there's no windows, and it's just completely dark. And you turn a very bright light on in there. Well, what happens? The darkness goes away. Now, let's reverse that situation. You're in a room filled with light. How can darkness exist? It can't. So the reality of the situation is the light can always exist without the dark, but the dark can never exist without the light. So in your life, if you have a horrific time, if you're in trauma or just in a really dark place, you know, there's always light wherever you are, and it's up to you to find that little pinprick of light and draw strength from it, and that's what moves you out of it. And those kind of concepts have really pushed me in a direction to help humanity by building stuff that is just so radically off the chart that it works. I mean, you know, I have stuff on the drawing board that will be moved at some point to the shelves at Walmart, Target, you know, nationwide chain stores that will change your drinking water in your house.
Very cool.
Yes.
Did that help, Susan?
Yeah, I was just like on his website looking at workshops, and is that what you're talking about, Peter? You have workshops, and then you have private sessions too. I can't find those, but I guess they're there somewhere.
So the workshops are group sessions that I do every 2 or 3 months or whenever I feel inspired. It basically it lowers the cost. The more people I get, the lower the cost. The individual sessions are an hour that I spend on the phone with you, and you know, I'll tell you everything about yourself, and then I'm going to tell you things about yourself that you don't know. And those are the things that we're going to work on. Or sometimes people come to me with very specific things, and they know exactly what they want. Okay, we just do it. A lot of times I pull stuff out of people, and, you know, it freaks them out because it starts crawling under their skin. They see their skin moving. I mean, it depends. I do exorcisms, right? I worked on a woman in Boston a while back. I mean, her hair was falling out of her head. She had open sores on her body. And it's very important that I'm always in control. Again, I don't believe in evil, demons concept. I believe in low vibration. So, you know, outside of this reality that we live in, there's infinite amount of realities, and there are energies that transverse those realities. They're very much like sharks in the ocean. They're mindless predators. They just feed. They come into this reality, they see you, they're going to nestle themselves inside your body. And over time, they will wreak havoc on the body, mind, and spirit. And that translates into the physical plane as a whole host of human ailments, depression, blah, blah, blah. So you can go to a psychiatrist, you go to a psychologist, you go to a doctor, you go to an energy healer, a seeker, blah, blah, blah. They deal with what I call the attachment. That's what manifests on the physical surface, and they're going to make you feel good for a little bit, but the problem's still there, and it's always going to come back because at the end of the day, it's energy. Okay, my gift is I have the gift of sight. I see energy in everything. I will identify with you where that energy is nestled in your body, and that's what I call the root cause. And once we pull the root cause out of you, your life changes forever.
Because I see you have an Abundance 6 audio sessions. So those are not live. Those are pre-recorded, right?
Those are pre-recorded, correct.
And you just email them to us, or is that how it works?
There's a download link that you'll get. It comes down as
Okay.
MP3. That you can play on your iPad.
Yes, I kind of got that vibe. All right, great. And then your private sessions are, I guess they vary in price?
Yeah, they vary in price.
Okay.
We'll let you just kind of scoot around on his website and look around. And
Yes. I don't want to take any more
time. People wanting to ask some questions here, Sue.
Yep.
So thank you.
I'm fine. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Thank you for phoning. Okay, great. Take care. Peter, we've got Pete. He's saying, I'm not clear on the difference between Source and Aquaware. Does the latter just come with pre-programmed intentions and the former is just for our own intentions? What could you say to Pete?
The difference, the Source, again, the Source utilizes the same methodology and principles, okay, but it changes your reality around you to bring desired things in the manifestation. Aquaware is very specific intents, typically that are ingested or used on external extremities.
Okay. All right.
Source was designed to be a fire and forget program. You click the button, you drink the water, you forget about it. Very, very simple to use, extremely powerful. Aquaware is more targeted, has a lot more user options, and it's a whole lot of fun to use.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then somebody say,
go ahead, Salma.
Well, I was just saying here, we just want to, with this old laptop, somebody who's got an old laptop that has a Windows XP, but later they want to get a new laptop. Can they transfer it without buying another software?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely you can. Okay.
I think this is Montana, area code 406. You're on the line. If you could tell us your name and your question for Peter, please. Hello? Area code 406. Is it Whitehall, Montana?
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, good. I had you on. Somehow I had you
Everybody's
on.
Muting us. What is that?
There you go. We're just
I don't
loud,
know.
I guess. Whatever.
I'm getting a complex. Oh, there's a program for that.
Right.
Well, I'm in my hot springs pool right now, and when we did that, I held my hand also over the water that I'm standing in the pool, and I'm wondering, since the water is gravity flow from up above, half a mile, and it flows across the road into the Jefferson River and flows down the Jefferson River and eventually into the Gulf of Mexico, is everything that I put into this water, will that also flow down and help heal, say, the oceans and everyone it passes by in the rivers? And
if it's of the highest order, absolutely.
So everyone, if I put healing or whatever I put into the water, that would travel down that path?
Yes, it will. And that's a really good point. It's something I forgot to mention. Sometimes people don't want to just charge a glass of water. They want to charge a 5-gallon drum of water, and that's fine. The intention will stay in the water indefinitely, as long as it doesn't evaporate. Or you can blank slate it and put another intention into it. Don't microwave the water that has an intention in it, please. Don't.
So Aquaware would be the best option for me probably if I'm going to work with the water. If I'm
Absolutely.
sending healing to the planet and to people and anyone it passes by that's in the rivers and stuff, would they also benefit from that?
Yes, they will.
Oh, good.
And you're also creating personal karma for yourself, which will come back 1,000-fold onto you.
So if I set the intention that we did abundance, and I set my intention, one intention, I set two intentions, but I set two intentions. One was for money, and the other was for healing of the planet. So that will work?
Yes, it will.
And can everyone experience maybe a windfall of money?
Again, it's really based on the dynamics and the principle. Yeah.
Okay. So it would depend on their acceptance of it.
Exactly.
Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Okay. Good. So I don't just send healing out to the people of the earth and the universe and everything. Now I can do it through my water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the neat thing about it, isn't it?
Fantastic.
The water.
Yeah.
Great.
And he said there is no distance.
Right. Oh, he even said Mars, right, or something?
Yes, that's right, Mars.
Okay.
So when the new,
again, you're only limited by your imagination with technology. You're only limited by that.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you
for your call.
Okay.
I must think, Peter, like my voice after drinking that water has improved 100 times.
Yes, I don't know why you didn't do that earlier, Salma.
Well,
but now everybody knows how effective it is.
Yes.
Amazing.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Reason for it. Do
you have another question on the dashboard?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot. Rhonda, has it helped with Lyme's disease? I have a chronic condition and am frustrated.
I am 90% sure the Aquaware has something for Lyme disease in it, yeah.
Okay.
You can, when you're on the website, you can download the intent list and, check it out.
Okay. We have Massachusetts on the line. Is it Lynn? Area code 781.
Hi, how are you doing tonight?
We're good. How are you?
How are you?
Good. I just had a question on the energy water that we did with Peter. Was his energy coming through to us, through our hands, into the water?
Yes.
Or were we taking our own energy into the water?
I was directing source energy through everyone that participated in it.
Okay, and then my second question is, how much do we drink? I don't want to overdo it, like you said. Is that the same?
3 or 4 ounces of program water.
I'm sorry, 3 or 4 ounces?
Yep.
Okay, per day. Like if at a time, meaning not at a time or
depends.
what?
The tools are designed for you to have fun with.
Okay.
I can give you a cookie cutter instruction sheet, but I don't like reading that stuff. So I provide a very basic manual on how to use the software, and it's basically just the operations and a couple of suggestions. It's really up to you on how you want to do it. I don't want to bind your hands. You can't do that. You can't do that. I don't operate like that. These are created for you to explore. Be the child in the world. Rediscover it. And as you start getting accustomed to Aquaware, it's getting accustomed to you. It's an intelligence. It's a child. It wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
It has beautiful intents. It wants to get to know you. And like teaching a puppy, you're gonna teach it, and it's gonna teach you. It's gonna become your best friend. It's amazing.
It sounds wonderful.
And you do want to play when I can't wait to get back there and just what have I missed here? I want to know.
Almost going to be up till 3 in the morning.
Whoa!
Look at this! Don't you phone me at 3 in the morning, Salma?
Yeah, that's right. I'm like, oh my! Look what I discovered. It's just fantastic. It's just unbelievable, and it's just beautifully, like with the pictures, the images, and it's just you're at a good place.
Mm. Thank you for
I actually, on the energy that we just did, the group activation, I mean, I only took a couple sips, and I can feel the energy through my body, and I also feel the water silky. And I had 2 glasses. I had one over my hand that I did, and that was a silky one. And I kind of did a test on you, and I did the other water. I didn't touch anything, didn't put any tension in, and I could taste the difference between the two.
I know, it's huge, isn't it?
Yeah, and I didn't, I just think that's amazing.
It is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. And that's why, we had to have Peter come in and do this interview. It's just amazing. He does amazing work, and just the results and the testimonials, unbelievable.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Love and blessings to you all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Peter, we've got a question from Sharon from Tokyo. She's saying, can I use the intentions for family, in my case, my son, husband, and daughters, without their permission? They are non-believers in anything outside of the box.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And so would you be, if you're doing it for someone else, would you be activating the water that they drink? Or is it surely just the intention?
Now, again, thinking outside of the box, because the principles of the software work in a place, quote unquote, the quantum realm, where time and space and distance don't matter, all you have to do is say, okay, the next 3 times they drink water, it's going to be already programmed with this intent.
Oh.
You get it?
That's kind of sneaky. I love it.
Yeah, it's sneaky.
Okay.
So, for instance, if someone in your family is an ice cube and they don't have a personality and they're bitchy all the time, program their water ahead of time for the next 7 days, maybe, with one of the intents that will melt the ice cube, and you will be blown away by their transformation.
Wow.
Blown away, and they'll never even know it. They'll wake up in the dream and they'll be like, I'm happy, and you're going to be like, behind the scenes like a mad wizard with Aquawood, you know?
So you don't need their permission? Like with a lot of energy treatment,
no,
you really need somebody's permission.
No, you don't.
Okay.
Look, there's a lot of, don't even get me started, but there's a lot of bullshit that's conditioned about how energy flows and I need their permission, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Energy is free flowing. If it's of the light and you have good intentions, you can do anything you want. The principles that govern energy have been so dumbed down by people. So again, in my belief system, I don't classify myself as anything. Some people call me a healer. Some people call me a Reiki master. Some people call me a mystic. Some people call me a super seer. Blah, 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 blah. I don't subscribe to any of it, okay, but I accept all of it, thereby unlimiting my potential and what I'm allowed to do, okay? And some people call me the poster child for the coming changes or the bad boy energy worker, blah, blah, blah. I don't subscribe to any of that. Right. I work solely based on the principles of helping humanity by any and all means possible. And if you tell me I can't, well, you know what? F you, I will.
Good for you. A man after my own heart.
Can you do it without their consent? Absolutely you can. Okay. Why can't you? Because someone told you that you can't? Whatever.
Yeah.
Be a child. Explore and learn what the world is really like through the gifts and software.
Right. Salma, do you have any more questions?
Oh, yeah. Sebastian from Los Angeles says, hello, Peter and girls. Very interesting topic. I have seen promotions of portable containers that you pour water through to restructure the water. They are very high in price, but does it compare to your work with computer programs to reprogram the water?
There's a lot of products out on the market that claim to do a lot of things. And if they work for you, that's great. If they cost $5,000, well, if you can afford it and it works for you, well, there's no complaint there. I keep my products reasonably priced. It's not about the money. It's about changing your life, changing the quality of your life. The software does many things. If you find another product out there that offers a fraction of what my products can do at a competitive price, go and buy them. Have fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that's the biggest thing. You have fun. It's just like you're searching. You're interacting. It's I don't know. I just find that quite fascinating. Mm-hmm. And Amy's saying from Indianapolis, she's saying my water has bubbles in it, and the glass sitting next to it has none. So there you go.
I'll share something with you, which I really shouldn't, but this is kind of fun. If you're a wine drinker, if you're a whiskey person, like I am, if you like a cognac, okay, Cleanse and Rejuvenate will take a crappy cognac and turn it into a VS quality in 30 seconds flat.
He'll turn
in
it
30
into
seconds flat.
Oh.
What it'll do for a glass of wine will blow your mind away.
Oh.
Okay, so it takes the acidity out of wine. You don't get headaches anymore. I mean, just think. Anything that contains water in it, you can change it. You can make it better.
Raz from Palo Alto, the download list link you just mentioned for Aquaware doesn't work on Peter's website. Well, you've got to go to the special offer button there on the dashboard page, Raz. Click on the special offer button. You're going to read all about it. And then if you're interested in purchasing the Aquaware, just click on the Purchase Now button, and you'll get the immediate download link to the software program. Salma, do you have another?
Let's see, with Dawn from Savage, Minnesota, we're just getting, we love getting, these comments from all different parts of the world. What about MS and chronic fatigue? Is that, that sound at all familiar?
I will tell you that the chronic fatigue will go away generally within 72 hours.
72 hours.
72 hours, it'll be gone for good.
Wow.
The mind clarity, Cleanse and Rejuvenate is one of my favorites. You can apply that to plants. The water that you feed your plants. It just goes on and on and on and on and on.
Which of the softwares handles our own specific intent? Was that the source? No. Which one was that, where you would write down your own intent?
So today, none of the products offer that.
Okay.
Tomorrow, with the development cycle that Aquaware 4 is undergoing now, you will have the ability to type in your own intent.
Okay. So, Rhonda, that's not available in any of these three products, but the Aquaware version that he does have, you've got over 500 intents in there, right? And those are, I'm sure, anything and everything you could have ever asked for is already in that one.
Now, I will take, for Aquaware 4, I will take new intents. If there's something out there you want, just let me know and I'll put it in there for you.
Yeah. Perfect.
And Sharon from Tokyo is coming back. Can we do our intentions in Japanese? It doesn't make any difference what language the intention is, right?
It's the language of love. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. And language of love, no problem.
Well, I think Dawn is asking which one to use for chronic fatigue. Would that be the Aquaware?
I would use Aquaware for that, yeah.
Okay. And Laria from Massachusetts asking for your website.
It is www.moderndaymistic, all one word. It's moderndaymistic.com.
Okay. There you go. Thank you very much. We don't have any more questions from telephone callers. Salma, do you have any more?
I think pretty well.
We've covered them all?
Yeah, I think we've covered them all. I've got heart valve defects. What about structural problems?
Structural problems like in the heart, you mean?
Yeah, the heart valve defect with that. D from Silver Springs. What would you say to her?
Stuff like that I really can't comment on.
Okay.
I've seen amazing things happen, and we'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, dear audience members, if you would like to take Peter up on his special offers, click on the special offer button on the dashboard page, then click on the add to cart button. The rest is easy. Just fill in the form, click on the submit order button. Check this out for yourself. Again, if you were to go to Peter's website right now and compare prices, all of these special offers he's presenting to you today as part of being a guest on our show, each offers $40 off of his regular retail price. It's a nice savings to have. And thank you, Peter, for offering this to our audience members.
Sure, no problem.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I've lost my place stuff, Selma. Where are we here?
Okay, well, I think you were just going to say, are there any final words that you would like to say to our audience members, Peter?
Well, I can go on for another hour. If you do, take advantage of any of the special offers, any of the software will change your life. It'll change the lives of the people around you. If you come in your life and you're offered a magic wand that does things that defy logic and science, it's being offered to you tonight. So I would highly recommend taking advantage of the specials that are going on. And, I offer personal consultation on any of the products. You call me, you send me an email, I'll get back to you. Any technical issues, I'll take care of with you. Just be a kid. Have fun. Life is so stressful. And when you're offered something that you could just be like, wow, and be amazed and be blown away, well, it's being offered to you tonight. Take advantage of it.
Right. That sense of wonder that children always have that has left us. And with these programs, you can certainly have that aspect in your life again, the aspect of wonder. And, it's amazing.
And even with Peter doing the simple, exercise with the water. I mean, look at all the wows we got from people. They're amazed. Bubbles are going and this and, my water was moving. And it's just like everyone was like, that fun factor. But it was like, wow, they can't believe it. It's something so simple.
Yeah.
So again, you're very compassionate and very caring, and we've sensed that right from the beginning, Peter. And of course, we thank you for your generosity of spirit, and right, Karen, and we're forever grateful for that.
Absolutely. Thanks for being with us, Peter. And I want to thank you, our wonderful listeners, for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us on the Go Beyond interviews. We appreciate each and every one of you and your commitment to being more empowered. Thanks for being with us here tonight, and continue to create amazement. Thank you, and goodbye.
Good night, everybody. And it was an exciting moment for us. Thank you.
It was. Thank you.
Thank you.
We truly hope you enjoyed today's presentation to assist you in going beyond.
Until next time, be more, love more, live more, and never settle for less.